lads, here's the plan. We're going into this lost city, but before we can rummage, we're gonna clear out all them undead things. Give them a good kicking. Once we've killed everything, no one's to go looting until I say so. This is my plan, so I get the top picks. I'm in charge now, and I need a shiny boss hat. Anyone who disobeys will get a boot up their backside. Remember, this is a cursed place. The shamans don't like it, so no messing with stuff you don't understand. If you summon something from the void, you'll have to deal with it yourself. Give him a good kicking.
Hello, MonstersAbound here and welcome back to Warhammer 2, Mortal Empires, and part 17 of my Grom campaign. That's right, yes. I think this is the first ever time I've opened with a quest battle, so that's exciting. It's a first, and we get to watch trolls get murdered by our big uns, because of course our big uns have 70 weapon strength and ridiculous levels of attack and defense, so basically they make mincemeat of these large units. So they've got some chaos spawn, some trolls. The chaos spawn, of course, they're unbreakable, so they'll fight until the end. Reinforcements have arrived. Azhag is meeting them. I'll tell you what, this Vanguard deployment thing is really useful. I mean, like, super useful. Normally you'd have to march right up here and looks like Urguk Spider Killer, who I keep meaning to rename, is a little bit, he's beset my bats. You alright, buddy? He's fine. He's okay. And but we managed to deal with like the main force pretty quickly, and now reinforcements are pouring in. So we've got some Vargeists as a Vargolf on the other flank there, and here come a horde of ghosties and skeletons and ghouls and all that kind of creepy shenanigans. Fortunately, our big uns do not give a shit. They're just going to get straight in there, smashing them up. That's good. And here comes our night goblins, because of course, where there is big blobs of troops, there will always be fanatics. Or at least that's the dream. Azhag has dealt with the Vargeist pretty convincingly. He's now missing. Good. Here come the fanatics. Smash it. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So good fanatic damage there. All of our big uns are out of control, but that does mean they've got 69, the sexiest amount of melee attack, and they're on fire. You're damn right they are. It burns when it's that sexy. It shouldn't. If it does burn when it's that sexy, then obviously, you know, seek medical professional help. So the big uns are murdering these skeletons, which I'm going to be honest isn't really going to be much of it. It's pretty one-sided, this. You got big burly orcs with maces and axes versus a bunch of very bony boys who have not eaten. Yep, they're all dead. There we go. So they're all dead. The enemy army has crumbled away. And we've got our hats. That's nice. I do like a nice hat. Big and blob with fanatics. That works. And 6.5k. And a big, scary, talky hat. Because that's something we needed. Good. There's a Crown of Sorcery, so it enables advanced Law of Death magic. Miscast base chance is decreased. Winds of Magic increase. Immune to vampiric attrition. If there are any vampires left, that would be useful. Obedience reduction due to lack or presence of corruption in local province, which is pretty pointless. But also, we get the Gaze of Nagash. That's right. Good old gazing. There we go. And a new ingredient now. Ooh, and sharing is caring. Now, I know what I did wrong. And what I did wrong was this. Basically, I mean, for one, I need to get some more physical resistance for night goblins would actually, or for goblins and night goblins would actually be quite useful, because the rest of this is a bit trash. I guess that's fine. Yeah, that's good. And ectoplasm, that does mean we won't have frenzy on our goblins, which is a little bit disappointing. Also, we can't do this because we've already cooked this turn. But basically, didn't actually sure what that meant. Basically, this will make a special secret recipe. That's right. And this will then complete the hag quest, which means we'll then get the fourth slot open for our cooking, which is very, very exciting. That's right, we can really get our cooking on. Cooking up a storm. Azhag, we're going to get Ravager for you because you need Lightning Strike. Mostly because there's a lot of Empire armies hanging around. Yes, the Empire tide is back, and a few people have pointed out that maybe by killing all the vampires, this is all my fault. All my fault. And I have been once again hoisted by my own petard. And for those people, I say, shut up. No one likes a smartass. All right. Now, we're gonna have to deal with Grombrindal. I think Grombrindal might run away. And we still need to find bloody Grimgor, wherever the bloody hell he is. Honestly, hello. It's bloody Queek. What's Queek doing down here? Hello, Queek. I mean, up here. Well, he actually pops. I mean, what's he doing alive is basically what I'm asking. Because normally he gets his ass kicked pretty early, but he is currently very much alive. It's Gary Rhodes. It's Gary Rhodes. There we go. Got it in the end. Indeed. Let's now. So I think someone wanted to call the Hydra Bob and the Bobettes, because obviously there's more than one. Good. Bob and the Bobettes. Well, indeed, Skarsnik, because we do have another quest battle to do. Skarsnik's prodda. There we go. I do get Skarsnik's prodda, and that's going to give expedience all provinces, which is quite nice. Income from post-battle loot as well, in magical attacks, weapon strength, blah blah blah, all that kind of good stuff. So let's go and teleport to do that. Okay, so we do have some iron drakes. We've got reinforced. I think I've done this battle before. I kind of remember what it is. I think. So this should be fine.
So predictable. These stunties act like clockworks. I'll bet I could work out when Ironhammer or Grudgebearer combed their beards if I wanted. So, here's your plan. Take him in the front and in the sides. I want the way cleared so I can get my new prodda! Get it? If I see any of you running the wrong way, well, Goblin is hungry. He's always hungry.
So our second quest battle, we're getting Skarsnik's prodda, that's right. It's exciting. There's Bob and the Bobettes. We're getting a little bit flamethrower. Oh, this is going to be a great fire breath. Look, it basically incinerated half that unit, that fire breath. That was 21 kills. The trolls slamming into the dwarf line. We've got the night goblins coming up behind as well. I was tempted to use fanatics and I didn't. Probably a mistake. But there we go. We're getting roasted alive. I really should have locked down these iron drakes. Won't make that mistake twice. So Bob and the Bobettes charging in, and the stone trolls making a bit of a mess of these dwarf. I mean, we've basically created a dwarf sandwich there, and they're the meat. One unit of trolls did take quite a lot of damage and are running away, but they didn't actually lose any members of the unit, so they're just regenerating, and they'll be back in no time. Some of our night goblins not so lucky. Some of them did get roasted alive, but that's fine. And they're fighting the slayers over here. Now we have cast itchy nuisance on them, which means these slayers not got great stats, and unlike goblins, of course, do have pretty good stats. So that means the slayers are actually losing this combat against night goblins. That's got to be upsetting. I mean, that's got to be. I mean, you've suffered a grave dishonor, so much so that you've abandoned your old life and you're just seeking death. And then you get shanked by a night goblin. I mean, that is just the worst thing to happen, isn't it? Imagine meeting your ancestors and they're being like, well, that went well, didn't it? You know, being really passive-aggressive, really sarcastic about it. That would just, you just want to get killed all over again, wouldn't you? Yeah, these night goblins are getting they did take a lot of fire damage to start off with. I really should have sent some help to... because a lot of units just standing around watching these night goblins get murdered. Is anyone going to Anyone going to come and... anyone? No? No? Okay, well, that's fine. Reinforcements for the dwarves have now turned up. They've got a couple of cannons, and they've come in on the flank, which is not very nice, because it means they can pound us from long range. But we can do the same. So our fanatics raining down on the miners with blasting charges. Not that the miners with blasting charges are actually that problematic. The iron drakes are a bit problematic. The cannon is problematic. Pretty much everything else. I mean, the actual units that we're killing, not really that much of a problem. The Dwarf Lord is still fighting. But he is surrounded by night goblins, so... and he's on fire. Finally, some trolls have come in to deal with the slayers. Just... oof. Well, he tried, and that's the main thing. Oh no, he's getting back up. He's getting back up. He's a little slayer that... oh, he died. Arrow to the neck. Well, you know. He did his best, and that's all you can ask, really. That's all you can ask. Okay, so our Doom Divers trying to take out the Iron Drakes, but we're just going to charge them with trolls and see how that goes. I mean, I know trolls are like, you know, flammable, but that's yeah, they don't care. Little explosive there, but there we go. Now they're in combat. They're going to mince those Iron Drakes pretty convincingly. There goes the War, so that's going to increase their base weapon damage and base armor piercing damage, and also increase their melee attack by quite a significant amount. So that's all good. And our night goblins are now charging the cannons. You can see a lot of upside down goblins there, and now more of them. I did want to kind of hide my night goblins, but it didn't quite work out. So we're just gonna, you know, do our best with charging directly at them and hoping that they don't open fire at the last second. They open fire at the last second, but oh god, that... ow. Oh well. I mean, there's always more night goblins, so no biggie. So now we've got our prodda back. Also kind of smooths over some of the potential public order problems, which is really, really nice. And gives Skarsnik some extra killing power. So we're gonna go Ravager with you, because again, I feel... don't you get Lightning Strike? Do you always get Lightning Strike? Oh, you always get Lightning Strike. You always get Lightning Strike. Okay, well... I mean, 15% campaign move is still good. And obviously sacking income is basically how we're making money at the moment, so that works too. Okay, good. Let's get Slimy Shanks. Everyone loves a Slimy Shank, if you know what I mean.
Skarsnik, warlord of 8 Peaks.
Yes. Now, we've seen a few enemy armies meandering around over here, and yeah, the Empire has become very, very strong. I probably should have killed them when I had the chance, and I didn't, and I'm now going to regret that choice. But there's no point crying over spilt milk.
Gonna be quick.
So, what we got here?
Unworkable.
Okay, that is an army I definitely want to kill in an ambush, ideally. Let's get... do I want the spider upgrades? I mean, they're not super useful. I don't really have boar boys. Magic item drop chance is sort of good, I guess. Sure, shiny magic things, why not? And we probably want to be upgrading some of these bits and pieces. I might, if I can't find Grimgor... oh, there it is. Good. Well, I get... there's Grim... oh, but of course he's got a war, hasn't he? Ugh. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but fighting that on top of Grimgor's quite a lot of Black Orcs and Orc Boar Boys. Feels like maybe the better wait until his war runs out and then kick the shit out of him. Okay, so while we're waiting for Grimgor's war to run out, what we'll do is we'll go on a bit of a dwarf killing spree, and wipe them out so they're no longer a problem for us. Because the last thing I need is tiny little hairy people getting all up in my shit. What do you want? A military alliance? I don't really. You're getting on better. Sure. All right. Okay, let's do that. Just because with the sheer number of Empire armies wandering around, I feel like the more friends, the better. All right, Grombrindal's wandered off again. Good.
You better bow, using the presence of the goblin king.
That's right. You want an aggression pact and you're willing to pay for it? Oh, Grimgor, I'd love to, but no. You're also strength rank 1. Holy crap, really? Well, I guess because you've got all the war units as well. That's interesting, actually, because it means like the greenskins sort of like have this sort of they go for a while, they get very strong, the war finishes, they kind of like tail off a bit. That works really well, actually. You know what? I really like the war system. I think it's a lot better than the previous. Oh no, Thogger! You got stabbed. Thogger got stabbed. Ouch. That's not great. Now, where's... Oh, because he's got stabbed, didn't it? No, wait, no, he's over here. Okay, we need to see... Okay, Grimgor's over here, so we'll go and find Grimgor. We'll also go and kill... Ooh, now. Boris. Borisy. Now, Clan Ferric. Where are you? I'm wondering if maybe... I mean, if we... I could pick him off now. Could do. Is an option. Let's get Counter-Strike. What's he got? He's only got a steam tank. That's the worst thing he's got. Otherwise, it's all swordsmen and crossbows. So, I mean, we could just murder him. Shall we murder him? I think we're going to murder him. Let's murder him. And he wants it as well. He's going for it. Okay. Okay, and now we are slightly rescuing the Skaven here, but I'm okay with that, I think. I like to think that Boris thinks the Greenskin army is still quite far away, because obviously he's only got one eye, so his depth perception is fucked. But that's good. So as we force the missile units to run away, in comes the Wind of Death. This is... Oh, that was beautiful. Look at that. A lot of units. And now we're going to get a lovely headbutt in. Oh. Yep. Yep, almost there. Almost there. So Boris is now being manhandled by Azhag. So he's not having a good time. Our big uns are all over the place. The Boar Boys have charged and taken out the crossbows there. That's looking pretty good. And what is it called? The big un. The big un is lobbing shit at these missile units. Now the missile units are the main ones we need to deal with. I maybe should have move my goblins further up and then use fanatics on them. That probably would have worked out quite nicely. Boris is getting his ass kicked. I mean, Boris is... Azhag has just murdered him. It's not even close. He's got one kill. Now he's flying away as fast as he can. But of course, Azhag's right behind him. Bop, there he goes. Night Goblins opening fire on the Free Company militia. And the crossbows there. And our big uns are slowly grinding down the enemy infantry. I mean, they're really... losing decisively. They've managed to kill one so far, where our big uns are just chopping their way through them. Absolute carnage. There goes the war. Not that we need it, to be honest, because the enemy army has seriously had enough, and I can't blame them. A few arrows to just chase them off. That's nice. And looks like Boris is gonna get bopped. think we're going to hit him with a... Because he's slowed down because he can't... Because of the chill banner effects. Which I actually really like that because it makes chasing down enemy lords with Azhag really easy. But we'll just soul siphon him because... Or spirit leech him even because that's easier than hitting him. Bye, Boris. Oop. Bonk. Ouch. Okay, well that's one army dealt with.
Sigma, no.
I know there's another army around there somewhere. I'm tempted to just back off and... I just feel like if I don't, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So, let's get Raider. Because then we can get Iron Hard and then Lightning Strike. And then we're looking pretty good. Okay, good. Exactly. Now, let's go and kill Grombrindal. Because he's there as well. Oh, God, these guys. I mean, at least we've got the garrison as well, so that I can send them to their death. So that's good. I mean, not for them. I'm fairly sure I've killed Grombrindal enough. Should really just give in. Well, alright, so he's got a little army here. We're fully capable of dealing with this. No real problem. So we've got Grom, we've got Paul's boys, and we've got Snotting pump wagons on the flank, just waiting. And we've got Spider Squad moving in. You know what? I quite like Spider Squad. They're actually a pretty good arm-piercing unit, and I mean, the missile attacks are kind of like an icing on the cake. You shouldn't take them for the missile attacks, because the missile attacks don't seem to actually do that much damage. But I feel like that generally they're actually not bad in melee. Because I mean, they've got 44 melee attack, 27 weapon strength, and anti-large as well. I mean, they're you know, quite useful for hunting down sort of enemy cavalry. So I'm kind of thinking maybe get more of them. Okay, well here comes Grom and his Snotting pump wagons. We've seen the enemy archers. We've sent the expendable garrison up front, so the dwarves can wear themselves out killing them and chucking their satchel charges. That's fine. And Grom has come smashing into the dwarven missile line. We're now running over them, doing donuts on their faces, that kind of thing. It is not, no. So Grom is just murdering my way through. There we go. Okay, good. Now, so the dwarves are sort of engaged with the front line, and this is kind of where I'm thinking, I like the goblin archers. Maybe we should have night goblin archers with fanatics, you know? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so we're sending Graham in. Graham's going to engage the Iron Breakers. And we've got some hammers heading towards the Orc Arrow boys, but again, I'm not particularly bothered about that. And right, so we've got Queenies heading in as well. There's Grom, he's slammed into the back of this line. Queenie's coming in the front. Here comes the rest of our units, now that the garrison's basically soaked up the damage for us. In go our lads. It's not in pump wagons, careering into the back of that line. And the dwarves just aren't ready for this. They're just not to be, ready to be jumped by a horde of very angry trolls and goblins. And these orc boys who have survived so far being used as a human shield. It's quite a big blob of infantry over here. Where is Grombrindal? Ah, there he is. He's right in the midst of the fighting. He's fighting Mary Berry. Just gets bludgeoned. He's actually lost a lot of health. He's not doing very well. I think it's because he's surrounded by goblins. He's managing to pick them off one by one. There he goes. He's breaking. The rest of the dwarf army has mostly been dealt with. A few Slayer units here and there. There's the rogue idol. And it's just basically mop-up time. We'll see if we can kill Grombrindal, but to be honest, I'm not that massively concerned because, I mean, the dwarves have some major problems at the moment. So I don't think they're going to be fielding any more armies anytime soon. We only lost 23 goblins. I mean, obviously the garrison paid a little bit more, but that's, you know, who cares? So you're going to run away. Can we catch up with you? Yes, we can. There we go. And I think that's just a nice, easy bot. Let's take the cash. I mean, money is looking pretty good at the moment, plus we're not spending huge amounts. I could get Sly back. I think he is raring to go. I think at the moment it's probably not worth it. And we could potentially get Sly where Azhag is, because Azhag is in a bit of trouble. Mind you, Skarsnik's in a bit of trouble. But kind of massive Orcal, it kind of works as like that hidden sort of mountain base. The AI kind of just ignores it, it means you can just strike out from it, which is quite nice. So let's get Specialist, because sure, nothing else I want. And we are going to continue our little rampage. We're going to knock out the rest of the dwarves. I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to keep an eye on where Grimgor is. So we're going to keep eyes on him. And while we've got eyes on him, we're then going to go and see if we can mop up the last of the dwarves so that they are no longer an issue for us. I'm going to get these raiding camps everywhere because it's going to give us a little bit more income when we're raiding, when we're sacking, all that kind of good stuff. That's kind of what we need.
Plotting and scheming.
Oh, we do have a few.
Moving.
There's like a few armies meandering around. If we can maybe lure them into an ambush. I mean, fortunately, we have allies. So we got Count Noctilus is doing stuff. Wulfric, I mean, Wulfric's not an ally, but he's not trying to kill us. He's trying to kill the Bretonnians, which is good. We've got Skaven, we've got the Vampirates down here. So actually, things looking pretty good. Look, Grimgor's got a lot of stuff. If we can just kick the crap out of him, then all that stuff is ours through right of conquest. Just need to punch his lights out and then get him on side for our grand caper. It's going to be great. It's going to have elves in it. It's going to be the roller coaster ride. Now, it's a bit early, probably, to be talking about this, but I hello. Oh shit! I knew this would happen. No, we're not fighting that. Get out of that. God, I'm so glad. That battle, we could have potentially won it. I mean, the nice thing is we've got the Vanguard deployment. So we can, like, hit their artillery before they get off many shots. So that's quite useful. But it's that kind of problem, that sort of being outflanked by multiple AI armies. That's where the risk is, when they just come out of the fog of war like that. And of course the problem is, because the AI can see everything all the time, they know where you are. Because realistically, I don't think the AI should have been able to see us here. They shouldn't know. I guess maybe if you're moving an army and you're going for that settlement, then you see, you might be able to stop and then move. But I suspect the AI knew exactly where we were and just moved their armies into attack. Now, on the other hand, that does mean that we could attack them and, with the Vanguard deployment, wipe them out. However, before we do that, I need to do this. So we're going to do that. The amount of gold, I think we're going to get the goldfish because it's the best of the lot we've got. And then the ectoplasm. This is a particularly good meal to have, I don't think. It does mean all of our goblins and night goblins cause fear. And Grom gets a ward save. The rogue gargoyles get ghostly protection. I don't know what that is. Minus 20% attrition. That's not really a big deal. So we lose the frenzy for the goblins, which is a bit of a shame.
The boys can have the bird beats.
But that will complete the quests. We've got a recipe. That means we've now got all 4 slots open, which means we can do something like... so we can get the frenzy. Yes. And we can get like more lava spider riders. And then also anti-infantry. Oh, maybe. Fire damage? Meh. Anti-lot? No, that's sure, something like that. Elven foie gras. That sounds quite good. I mean, I question strongly how you make it, but I probably shouldn't. But there we go. So we can get huge bonuses. Look at this. Recruit rank +4 for all units. Global recruitment duration -2. A new experience per turn. As well as all these extra bonuses. So that's looking pretty good. We can do that next turn, should we desire. But first, Jurgen is right there. And he's got some artillery. But we've got Vanguard deployment. So... this should work out pretty well for us. Unfortunately, that's going to have to wait until next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.